Hello, my dear friends. Welcome to LivesBerg Technologies, world's first company which prepares children to become entrepreneurs while still studying in schools. Today, we have our guest who is the CEO of Chain of Radcliffe Schools in majority of states in India. And what else? What else is special about this school is that this school provides high-end quality education to kids and assistance to parents in reasonable fees because they believe that education is every kid's right. Only a person who has faced adversities in his own life can understand the pain faced by others. The CEO, Mr. Manas Singh, taking care of Radcliffe Group of Schools, is with us today talking about adversities he has faced in his life, which made him even stronger in his life. And we will also discuss about your pain area. That is how we can still deliver effective education to our kids, to our children through online classes during this COVID crisis. Help me in welcoming Mr. Manas Singh.
Hello, Manas sir. Welcome to LivesBerg Technologies.
Hi Pooja, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to be here, and thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much. We are grateful to have you here and our audience as parents, school kids, teachers, and other professionals. They would really love to hear things about your story, of course, about Redcliffe and the situation we are facing. So, as a CEO and CEO of 12 great Redcliffe schools, these schools are there in Mumbai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Kochi, Pune, Bhatinda, Patiala, Jaipur, and Bhopal. I mean, almost majority of the states you have already covered, and you have got Redcliffe schools already there. I'm sure there are lots of challenges which you face while managing these schools. Before that, we all highly respect you. You are on a great position of a CEO of a school which is not just one, it is a school situated in multiple states. It is a great responsibility which you are taking care of. However, when we look up to you, you are a great personality. What we don't see is the tough times, the struggles, and the challenges you have faced to actually reach here. So when we are talking about the challenges and the struggles, our audience would really love to hear about the challenges which you have faced right in your childhood. And also we want to know that were you this successful right from the beginning, or what actually helped you?
So, I'll try to break this question into a couple of parts. But see, look, no one is successful from day one, and even today, I don't treat myself as highly successful. I think we are all in a learning journey, and there is always way to go. But starting from my childhood, I come from a typical middle class family. My schooling has been done in New Delhi, and my father used to work in the Indian Parliament. And while they were not, to be very honest, there were no such great financial issues or stuff like that. But I think, my father always encouraged the importance of education, and he ensured that I study in one of the best schools in New Delhi. And I'm a product of Air Force Balbharti, Lodi Road. And that, I think, shaped a lot of what I am today. So I strongly feel that. And when you talk about challenges, I think challenges truly started from the time I joined my engineering. We, as students, then always used to feel that, if you just join a good engineering or a medical college, being a science student, your life is settled. But unfortunately, the year that I was passing out is when 9/11 attacks in US happened, and all of us suddenly were without any jobs. So our this dream of becoming a software engineer in a industry which was booming then suddenly got busted. That was challenging. And of course, we a couple of my friends and I, and we were in Bangalore. So everyone thought that everyone dreamt to be something like someone like Mr. Narayan Murthy. So we thought, why not we also start a software company? So we started this company called Sprint Solutions. And you know at that time, for me specifically, it was a very, very tough time, because we I was not very good at coding, so the major work which was entrusted to me was to go out to the market and get some orders. So I used to go in a bike, regardless of the weather in Bangalore, and go to different housing societies and restaurants. We had two small solutions, one for managing housing societies and one for managing restaurants. So I remember I used to go to different housing societies, and entire 8 to 10 hours in a day I used to travel. Very tough. And we were just barely managing livelihood. I still remember that I used to earn, after all costs and everything, around 2,500 rupees a month. So yeah, life was tough. And even though I was a failed entrepreneur at that age, but some of the learnings that I took then really helped me shape my career. And then, of course, I came back to Delhi, uh, prepared for my MBA, and then got through one of India's leading MBA institutes, Xavier's. And then from there, of course, started a string of jobs, which is going on till now.
Wow, that's such a great story. So you just mentioned that your first pay was just 2,500. What we want and highlight here to our audience is that there are so many broken hearts. I mean, kids consider it as a failure if they're not scoring well in their exams. And if you're aware that primarily in North, there is an increasing rate of suicide among school kids, which is primarily happening because they consider scores everything, which actually is not right. And ideally, they should look up to people like you who are successful and who are today successful. So, yes, definitely they can consider that today, even if they are failing in their exams, there is a success tomorrow. That's just great to know. Please share more about your experience while you were going through your first entrepreneurship.
Well, I mean, uh, see, it was tough. I mean, so I remember there used to be days when we used to have only one meal a day, and I had obviously a chance to come back to my hometown and be with my parents and all. But I took it as a challenge because I didn't want to come back as someone who had not tried. See, success today obviously is very crucial, and every time that was the case. But what is more important is also that we put in the best effort. And failures will come, challenges will come. But I think one thing that I fondly remember then was obviously the band of friends who used to manage each other. I learned teamwork, I learned sharing in a very, very practical way. I have not learned all this from a book or a movie, but from my own life experiences. And that today makes me at least a very down to earth and a humble person. I ensure that success never gets into your head. And like I told you, I still feel that there is a long way to go for someone like me. But yeah, I mean, I can call myself decently successful compared to what I was, let's say, 20 years back. So yeah, I mean, that way, yes, challenges were there. And how to fight through it, how to find a way to still do some business was extremely crucial then. And that's how I survived.
Very amazing. And it sounds a lot of pain and struggles you have gone through when you have just shared your story. And entrepreneurship, as you mentioned, is never easy for anybody to go ahead for. However, what was that motivation that despite tasting failure so closely, you still kept moving ahead with your life? What was that motivation?
So I think I come from a family where I have been taught from childhood that failure is just the stepping stone to success. And I have personally, I mean, both in my personal life and my professional life, I have seen n number of failures. But I think what's important is that you need to stand up. You need to stand up for the people who are counting on you, and you need to also stand up for the fact that sometimes in life you choose one thing and you feel this is the best thing that can happen to you, and when it doesn't happen then you feel bad and demotivated. But I think life always gives you other options if you want to explore, and that's what I think I did. I kept exploring. I kept thinking of different ways. I think at that moment my father was a very big influence. He stood like a rock behind me. And while he encouraged me to fight and struggle and all, and he allowed me to, but he also used to give me a lot of motivation. So I think I want to call out one point, that today's parents should be ensuring that they give that sort of a strength to your child, that we are there behind you. You fight your battles, but don't worry. I mean, you might win some, you might lose some, but I am there standing behind you. I think that motivation and that support from parents and understanding from parents is very crucial. So that's something that I would like to call out as something that really helped me uh, keep going on. Yeah.
Very beautifully said. Very beautifully said. And as it is said that home is the first, parents are the first teacher, and for home is the first school kids learn from. It is very important that all the parents, they take care of their kids more as a gardener and provide the flower, everything which is required, rather than controlling them and controlling their decisions and their ideas as well. Very beautifully said, Manas sir. Another question to you is that we are really interested to know, what are those three things you can mention here which can help us as an audience to learn from your childhood, and other three things which we can learn from failing of your first entrepreneurship and your adulthood? So what are those three things from your childhood and three things from your adulthood we can learn from?
So, I mean, I would like to keep it more related to maybe something for students and parents. So, I think if I remember my childhood, I studied in one of the best schools, but it also brings in a lot of pressure and peer pressure especially. So, you would see people around you and students around you doing extremely well. So, I think what's important is that parents and children should have this very constant discussion, that so that parents understand that children are not getting bogged down or pressurized at school. That's very important. Second thing is that every child is unique. I strongly believe that, just like how all five fingers are not same, every child is unique, and there is this importance. You need to find that treasure within. You need to, as a school, as a teacher, and as a parent, all the stakeholders need to understand a child, and understand what is that thing that my child specializes or our student specializes in. So if I think about myself, I was never a rank holder, but I was a good student. My interest subjects were always maths and science, but I ensured that those two subjects I did extremely well throughout my career, starting from school to my engineering to my MBA, and it really helped me throughout my career and even till today. But you know what really helped me is also my focus on extracurricular activities. So there were a couple of sports like badminton and basketball, etc., where I was quite good. And I used to take part in that. I was also very good at public speaking, debates, elocution, and all. So I used to represent my school. And these extracurricular activities is what supported me and made me a more holistic individual. And even though I was not a rank holder, I still very fondly remember that when my MBA interviews were happening. So, during placements, companies come and take interviews. And, I actually outsmarted a lot of my friends who were 10 times better than me in academics. But I think, while I'm not saying that academics are not important, they anyways form the base. But world is moving towards more well-rounded, holistic individuals and professionals. So we should encourage our students, our kids to go for that. That would be my advice. And from my entrepreneurship stint, obviously, like I told, never to give up, explore other options, and obviously learn to work as a team. You can't win every battle individually, but as a team. And of course, support your students, support your kids as a parent is something that I can call out.